What if I told you that keyword research as you know it is dead? I'm Brendan Hufford. Today on 100 Days of SEO, we're going to talk about keyword research for SEO. Is it dead? We'll find out. Let's do it. Don't freak out. Keyword research for SEO isn't dead. It's just totally different from the way people have taught it and the way that SEO research has been done since I started SEO starting back in 2010. So let's go hop right over here in my computer and get into it.
What's up, y'all? We are in my computer. I believe that keyword research, the way it's been taught for so long, is completely dead. Today, we're going to talk about how to do keyword research the smart way. My goal is to turn you from this sad keyword researching pug into Napoleon Dynamite's brother, trying to make you not jealous that he's been on his computer doing topical research all day. Now, as with a lot of my videos, if you watch until the end, I'm going to make a special offer for you. It's free. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to opt in. I don't want your email address, but it's pretty cool. So make sure you watch all the way to the end because that's going to give you the context for what I want to help you with. If you're new here, shout out all my subscribers. Hear me say this every video, but the goal here is to build not a publication, not just have subscribers watching, but I want new people to discover this. So if you are one of those people, if you're new here, I'm Brendan Hufford. Hi, how are you? I created SEO for the rest of us in 100 Days of SEO. I'm also the SEO director at this badass agency in Chicago. I'm a former teacher. I taught in the classroom for 10 years. Pretty regular dude, dad of 3 kids, married. Shout out to all the dads out there. And today in the next couple minutes, you're going to learn 2 huge keyword research mistakes, what smart keyword research looks like, and the biggest secret right now in SEO. This is not a gimmick. This is actually something I've only seen maybe one other person talking about. And not only am I going to tell you about that in this video, I'm also going to link to the next video that goes into it a little bit deeper. Let's talk about some stuff. Let's talk about keywords, right? We think about keywords really being super important, the end all be all. And that's because of this, right? Only 6% of content ranks on page 1 in year 1. It's really hard to rank for even a single keyword on the first page. There's a lot of noise out there, but here's the thing. This is an example from Kindlepreneur. The content that does rank on the first page ranks for thousands of keywords, right? So the top one there, Kindlepreneur, free book title generator tools. That thing ranks for almost 3,000 keywords. How are you going to do keyword research for that? Can you do keyword research? Can you do keyword research for the next article that's almost 2,900 keywords? No, you can't. And that's why I want to introduce kind of a different topic today. But first we have to take a look back. We have to go look at old times. Now in the past, it was one keyword to one article. That's how Google did it. If you're an OG like me, you remember the days that you would get one keyword with one article, and that meant you had to create a separate article for every different keyword you wanted to rank for. And what this led to was a very vomit-worthy tactic called keyword stuffing, where you would rank better the more times you use the keyword on the page. And you ended up with stuff like this. We have the best laptops in the market. Our laptops have the lowest price and the best quality, the best laptops for business and the best laptops for home and personal use. Buy our best laptops. Like, ugh, people using blue running shoes every other sentence. No thanks. But that's what happened, right? And then Google came out with PageRank, and it was like, hey, maybe there's more than one factor to then like how many times they use the word on the page. And people started to understand, all right, there's more that I need to do here. I need to make my content better for humans. And one of the ways we figured out how to do that was with plugins. Now, this is a plugin from back in the day called Easy WordPress SEO. And you notice this looks very similar to how most SEO plugins look today. You thought they came up with that stuff? Nah, this is old school. Like the title contains the keyword, the title begins with the keyword. You recognize this stuff from your SEO plugin. Title contains at least 3 words, etc., etc. And you could go through all of this stuff: the title, the URL, the meta, the heading, the content, etc. They even had readability and LSI in there. This stuff isn't new. This is super old stuff. But the problem is it contained all these terrible ideas. Content contains at least 1 bold keyword, 1 italicized keyword, 1 underlined keyword. You ended up with this really, if you see a page like this today, you'll know that they're using the old school tactics of trying to just underline and bold their keywords. And it's just like, what? What are you doing? And don't get me wrong, like I did this. I bought Easy WP SEO, right, back in the day. And this is what it looks like today. Here it is in Yoast. It's the same stuff. Still trying to, 1 article, 1 keyword. I just showed you the best content ranks for 3,000 keywords. How are you going to optimize an article with this checklist based on one keyword when you want to be ranking for 3,000 keywords. Now, the problem is that like most of what they tell you to do in these plugins doesn't actually help. Should I use my key phrase in the title? Yes. Should I link out to other things? Yes. Should I link to myself? Yes. Should I make sure I'm not doubling up, writing about the same exact content in the same way over and over and over on my website? Absolutely. But the rest of these tips are garbage. They're garbage. They don't correlate with ranking at all. They will not help you rank better, especially with using your keyword in the first paragraph. That's the worst advice ever. It's terrible copywriting. It's bad for humans. I don't know why it's taught. Here's a video from Joel Klettke talking with Ross Hudgens on Siege Media's show about this. I will link to that video in the description as well. You should definitely watch the whole thing.
I mean, if there was one thing that people watching this that I wish they could take away, because I hear horror stories of this all the time, and you know, like I'm not as much on the content piece of things, the blog post piece of things now, but I talk to a lot of copywriters all the time in a lot of groups, and I get all kinds of posts where they're talking about, you know, some well-meaning SEOs installed the Yoast plugin, and they demand that it meets a certain, you know, measurability of, like, that's their barometer. And if the writer doesn't hit that, they're like, no, we need to revise it. If there's one activity I wish we could get rid of through this video, it's that. Like, that is not the way to evaluate whether or not a writer has hit the target for the piece you wanted to put together. That, like, nice little red or orange or green metric, that's not your barometer for is this thing good for SEO. That's such a simplistic way of looking at it, and that's...
Now, don't forget to keep watching to the end. Like I told you, I'm going to help you with this. You are going to get my time that you really can't even buy to help you specifically with this, because I really want you to understand where this is going. Now, the future of keyword research as we used to do it is dead. Keyword optimizing for a single keyword as we used to do it is dead. The future is topical research. Get it? Tropical? It's topical? I don't know. We're trying too hard here. It's topical research. Now, how do I do topical research? I look at a lot of different places, right? Obviously, I look at the search engine results, but I also look in Quora. I want to see, like, when somebody's looking for something, what do they really want? And I love that they actually like write little posts in Quora so you can see, like, they ask a question about hiring a wedding photographer, but then you get the nuance of it. You get all the context of it. I love Answer the Public, right? If I'm writing an article about how to learn WordPress, right? But I had no idea that there were all these things. Like, people are Googling how to learn WordPress without hosting. That's crazy. I had no idea people thought you needed to buy hosting to learn WordPress. They don't know about WordPress.com, where you can make a free WordPress blog, right? That's something that I discovered along the way here, and that's why it's so important to do this topical research, to see the whole topic and make sure we're really addressing the whole topic when we're writing an article. That's how you get the rankings for those 3,000 keywords. Now, if I'm writing about fun things to do in Chicago, I can see that it's really important to write about seasons, right? In winter, in December, in November. Like, most people are Googling this not really in the summer. They're really looking for this because Chicago is amazing in the summer. It's where I live, right? It's amazing in the summer. The things to do are obvious, but all of a sudden the winter hits and it's like, oh my God, what do we do here? What do we do now that we can't go outside without, the air hurting our faces? Why do we live here, right? But that's the article that you're writing. And now you have the topical research to understand. I'm not just looking, oh, there's a keyword, fun things to do in Chicago, I should rank for that. No. Get the nuance of it. Look at the whole topic. And now look at, these are all sections that you can have in your article. In the winter, fun things to do in Chicago with kids, fun things to do in Chicago at night. Those should be sections of your article. Next, I love to use Keywords Everywhere. It's a free extension for Chrome and Firefox. It kind of aggregates a lot of what I'm already talking about. Google Search, Google Trends, eBay, Answer the Public. It pulls a lot of information. It's free. It's not super accurate compared to something like an ahrefs, but it is extremely helpful with topical research. For example, here, if I want to write about how to podcast, right? What I want to look at here is I now see that people are also Googling podcast hosting, how to create a podcast website, how to listen to a podcast. That's interesting. I didn't even know that would be something that people are still wondering how to do. Well, so if I'm talking about how to podcast, I better tell people how to listen to a podcast. Like, all of these things matter, and all of these things are super helpful because you want to cover, again, the whole topic, not just a single keyword. Again, here's another one on intermittent fasting. I'm using Keywords Everywhere to pull this up. if I'm going to write about intermittent fasting, I could also write about intermittent fasting results, intermittent fasting benefits. Those things could all go into one epic piece of pillar content, or they could be broken out to separate pieces of content. Here's other places I like to find research. Go in forums, go into mailing lists. I love meetup groups and blog comments on big industry blogs. Obviously, social media groups, LinkedIn, Facebook, looking at the replies to in your industry. Go find some page or find some account, look at the replies, not just their tweets, but go under the tweets and replies and look at the replies to people, the questions they're asking and the answers they're getting. Now, this last one here, the Amazon reviews, the 3-star Amazon reviews is probably my best hack that I want to share with you for topical keyword research. So, for example, if I'm writing an article on productivity, this is one of the most famous books on productivity, The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. Now, this is great to look at it, but I also noticed there's 4,815 reviews. So what I'm going to do is look at how many of those are 5-star, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And what I want to start doing is looking at the 3-star reviews. A 5-star review is usually just going to be this glorious, like, oh, this is the best book ever, it changed my life. 1-star reviews are like, this is a waste of time, read this blog post instead. But the 3-star reviews usually have something really interesting in here. Because what happened in the book is it was just a collection of stories to this person, right? To Speed Reader 515. What they were really looking for is concrete tactics or strategies. So if I'm writing an article about productivity, I don't want to just tell stories. It looks like that really irritated this person, that Charles Duhigg was just telling stories and going on and connecting the stories to stories to stories to stories. Like, they wanted tactics and strategies to hack their habits, not just stories. And that was super important to them. Here's another one. Again, you see here, ESPN Dave, awesome name, is saying the same thing. If you've read Malcolm Gladwell's Tipping Point or Outliers, you're going to see similar stories once you hit the second half of the book. This is another person looking for a list of tactics and strategies and not finding them there. Look at this, another 3-star review. Now these are separated. These are the previous reviews from 2017. This is from 2013. Like, the 3 chapters are interesting and useful, but the thing that makes people hate this book is the stories. So if you're thinking of writing about productivity and you're planning on telling a bunch of long stories and going really deep into stuff that like people just want to know how to change their habits. They have a specific thing. The intent behind this and the topic that you should be writing about is tactical and strategic. It is not just dragging things out with long stories and examples of what you're talking about. It says, even if you just read this, so there you go, saved you money. Unless you enjoy random success stories, then this book would be a great read for you. So we don't want to just do success stories. We want to, when we're doing topical research, we want to look for painful emotions, right? And that's what we're looking in the Amazon 3-star reviews and everything we see on forums. We're looking for these feelings because this tells us when people are feeling this stuff, or we can read these feelings in their comments, we understand these are big pain points for them, and then we can write about that. That's the core of what we need to be writing about. And to do a deep dive on this, look at things like this. Is it their first time posting somewhere? Are they replying to comments? What emotions do they seem to have? I love doing this in Facebook groups. Get a little sip of coffee here. Delicious. So I love doing this in Facebook groups, and you see like when somebody comments and then there's like 27 threaded replies, it's like, ooh, I do the Mr. Burns, like, excellent. And I can't wait because I know that they just went really deep with somebody and back and forth and back and forth. And we want to note the pains that came from their actions, their reactions, their lack of actions, and see what they've tried, see what hasn't worked for them. This is really good topical research. If you want to write and you want to rank in search, you have to understand the pain points and why people are searching for things. So here's kind of my topical research checklist. You're like, Brendan, summarize all of that for me. I got you. Did I leverage my own expertise? Did you look on Quora? Did you look on Answer the Public? Did you look at the people also asked and the searches related to in Google? Did you review the recommended searches in YouTube? And then finally, like I said, do some of that pain deep dive, right? Especially the Amazon 3-star reviews. Now, the genius move here is the most important thing that I'm gonna talk to you about. And I got another video. If you check the description or you watch kind of the end card of this video, I got another video for you on this. So we're not gonna go super deep right now, but the genius move here is matching the search intent. Shout out to all my Cruel Intentions fans. But matching the intent of the search. What are they actually looking for? Like when people bought, I'll give you an example from Amazon. When people bought Charles Duhigg's book, they were really looking for strategies and tactics. And what they actually got was stories. He didn't match the intent perfectly. Now, that's obviously a weird example, but for Google, we have to match their intent. They're using keywords to search, but they have feelings behind it and they have intentions behind it. We have to match that intent. So make sure you check out that video as well. But before you go, Napoleon, I want you to tell me in the comments below, how are you struggling with keyword research right now? Like I said, the model of keyword research and the model of keywords we've had in the past is dead. So let me know in the comments below. Go right below this video. Let me know the topic you're writing about. You don't have to let me know your website. Let me know the topic you're writing about, and I will personally do some research for you. Now, it doesn't say it on the screen. I'm only going to do this for the first 10 people. The first 10 people that watched this whole video and are seeing this and comment below with what they're writing about, I will do some topical research for you. You will get all of my expertise, the things clients pay me thousands and thousands of dollars for. I will do that for you in the comments below. I'm stoked to see what you put down there. I've been Brendan Hufford. Don't forget to work hard, be nice to people, and don't get too lost trying to create something that matters.